If you keep coming back to watch these disturbing stories, hit the subscribe button. Our recent stats have shown that only 20% of our true 911 family have joined officially. So if that's you, you know what to do. In July 2010, an Upper West Side sushi chef brutally murdered his father by slashing his throat at the dinner table, nearly decapitating him, and then slitting his own wrists before calmly contacting 911.
Now, an operator 1966 emergency.
I just killed my father and I cut my own wrist.
You used a weapon on your father?
Knife.
And you're injured as well?
Yes.
Let me connect you to EMS.
8791. Yeah,
All
I
right,
just killed my father.
8791. He's stating that he just slit his wrist and killed his father. I have the call on the line.
He said he slit his wrist and killed his father?
Yes.
Okay. Sir? Yeah? How old are you? 33. 33 years old? Yep. Okay, and you're bleeding from the wrist? Yep. And is your father, is your father breathing? No. Your father's, he's dead? Yeah, I think so. Oh, you stabbed your father? I slit his throat. Sorry? Is that what you did? I slit his throat. Okay. Cut wrist and you're bleeding. Yep. Okay, what I want you to do is get a cloth and apply it to the wound where you're bleeding to control the bleeding. Sit down. Okay. Okay, sir, do you have a psychological history? Yes. Okay. Do you have any weapons there? No, there's a knife on the floor. I'm not using it. Okay, sir. The EMS will be there as soon as possible. Thank you. Okay.
Sir.
Thank you.
Yes? Thanks, Aro. Sir, how old are you?
33.
And your father was?
Like 73.
And he's not moving. He's
No.
away.
An ordinary family dinner turned into a horror scene when 33-year-old Julian Corrida, a former sushi sous chef at Credit Suisse, sliced his father's throat with a fish knife, nearly decapitating him just as he was about to eat his spaghetti inside the family apartment on 87th Street. Fumitaka Frank Corrida was an experienced choreographer, often traveling to fulfill the needs of his career. However, about 3 years before his murder, he moved back home full-time to help his wife tend to their mentally ill son. In the 911 call made by Julian, he shockingly stated that his father was trying to get everybody in the world to beat him up and torture him. Julian also reported to authorities that his 70-year-old father used to sexually and physically abuse him when he was a child. According to police reports, the University of Wisconsin-Madison graduate began to display strange and hostile behavior. It was allegedly often consumed with resentful narratives that only he believed and understood. He had called his mother Valerie multiple times with stories of what he thought was a significantly troubled childhood. And in his senior year, he suffered a psychotic break. He was admitted to St. Vincent's Hospital in Lower Manhattan for treatment. At first, the psychiatrists that saw him believed that he was suffering from schizoaffective disorder, a mental illness that makes the patient suffer from symptoms of both schizophrenia and a mood disorder like depression or bipolar. He was eventually diagnosed as schizophrenic and prescribed antipsychotic medication. Julian was prescribed Clozaril, a highly effective and strong drug used to treat more unmanageable schizophrenic cases. Julian had admitted to authorities that he had stopped taking his medication prior to the attack as he was having problems with his insurance. He was accused of second-degree murder in his father's death, but made an insanity plea. His defense saying that he was not on his medication and did not know or understand that his actions were wrong due to his mental illness. During her son's trial, Valerie Corrida begged the court to take the severity of his mental illness and his decade-long battles with schizophrenia into consideration, in the hopes that he would rather be admitted into a psychiatric facility. Here, they could help prevent him from slipping back into his nightmare beliefs and theories, like the one that ended her husband's life. However, in 2012, a jury did not believe these claims. It rather took the prosecutor's side, Assistant District Attorney Joan Aluzzi Orban, who argued that he was well aware of his actions and had engaged in a twisted Oedipal ploy to win the affections and attention of his mother. He figured in 2 or 3 months he's out of the hospital, dad's out of the way, and it's back to me and mom. Julian Carita was found guilty of second-degree murder and was sentenced to 15 years to life in prison. In June 2021, a Tennessee woman feared for her life when she called 911 and told them that Michael Louise Cadigan had FaceTimed her and showed her his ex-girlfriend's dead and beaten body.
Police and Fire Communications, this is Portia.
Hi, yes, my name is... I'm calling from Kingsport, Tennessee. Is this the High Point Sheriff's Department?
No, it's the High Point Police Department.
Police Department, yes. Okay, I just left from the Kingsport Police Department reporting a murder that happened there in North Carolina this morning. And my friend, his name is Michael Cadogan. He called me this morning and he said that he had done something, and I asked him what he had done, and he FaceTimed me and turned the camera around, and he had choked and beat his girlfriend to death. And he thinks that I'm going to pick him up, and I've played along with it so I could get more information for everybody. I told the police down here too. He is on his way right now to Watauga Lake and Roll Mountain here in Tennessee.
Okay, and what part of this happened in High Point, though?
I'm sorry?
You think he murdered someone in High Point?
It's around there. They told me, because I don't know the exact city. They told me, the Kingsport Police Department here told me to call High Point because it is around there. And they said you can.
Okay, what's the address?
I do not have his exact address because what I had down, he had deleted me off of, and I cannot get back on those messages.
Okay, well, why do you think it's in High Point, though? Like, what led you to that conclusion? What's near High Point, though?
Where I went before to his house, I went through Salem, and right there, it was like after Salem, and it was like High Point's after, so I thought it might be near High Point, and that's what they told me to call.
Okay, I don't understand. Why do you think it's High Point? Okay,
so I've been to this person's house one time before, and I went through Salem.
Do you mean Winston-Salem?
Yes.
Okay, you went through Winston-Salem.
Yes, and it was maybe like 30 minutes, an hour past that. I'm not sure exactly where it's at because it's been a while since I've been there. I do not talk to this person that much, and this is why I'm trying to get everything I can from him because he keeps calling me, and he is wanting me to pick him up from where he is dumping this girl at as his lake.
Where is this lake at? In Tennessee?
Yes. The name of it is Watauga Lake. It is near...
Okay, do you have any idea where it could be in High Point? Was it at somebody's house? Was it at a hotel? Was it at a building?
It was at... I'm sorry. I'm trying to think of everything straight. It's at their... it was at their apartment. Him and his girlfriend leased out an apartment together. And I know it happened in their apartment upstairs. That's all I know.
Okay.
Where it's at.
What is his name?
Michael Cadogan.
How do you spell his last name?
One second. I have to bring it up. It's very hard to spell.
Okay, what's her name?
I do not know her name. I never asked about her. Ever. And so it is Cadogan.
And what was your name again? A phone number for you? And how old is Michael?
He is 24, 25.
How do you know him?
I met him through Snapchat a long time ago. I've known him for about 5 years.
But you've never actually met him. You just know him online.
No, I have met him. That's what I'm saying. I went to his house once before.
Do you know what kind of car he drives?
Good, how are you? I know that he drives a black truck, but he's not in that. He is taking his girlfriend's car and her in the car and dumping it in the lake here at Watauga.
Do you know what his cell phone number is?
Yes, but he left it at the house, and he has a burner phone that he's been calling me from.
Okay, well, do you have those numbers?
Yes, I do. Okay, his cell phone number is...
And what's the burner?
It is...
Are you sure this isn't... It's not a joke?
No, ma'am, I'm telling you, I'm scared for my own life because of how he is talking, and I've seen this girl with my own eyes over the phone.
What did she look like?
She was like, it was like there was a commotion around the room, and she was just laying there beside the bed, and he walked over there, and she wasn't breathing. I told him to check for a pulse. I told him to do everything. And
what do you mean there was a commotion in the room? Commotion with who? Just him?
Yeah, you see like someone has fought, like things around the room.
Okay. All right. Can you describe her? What does she look like? Was she white, black, Hispanic?
She is white. She has curly blonde hair. I'm not sure about her eye color. I don't know for sure.
But he said he strangled her to death.
Yes, he told me that in his own words.
Okay. Let me work on this and I'll have somebody give you a call, okay?
The caller had told the dispatcher that 24-year-old Michael Cadigan had admitted to choking and beating his ex-girlfriend, Gianna Rose Delgado, to death. The caller had allegedly met the man on Snapchat 5 years prior and told authorities that she had played along on the call to gather as much information as possible before going to the police. The killer was heading to Watauga Lake to dump both Delgado's body and her car in the lake when police stopped him. Police found the 19-year-old's body inside a tote bag in the car's trunk, just as the caller had said. Cadigan was arrested and booked into a local Tennessee jail under the charge of first-degree murder and the abuse of a corpse. He's being held without bond. Ricardo Delgado, the victim's father, had demanded the death penalty for the man who murdered his daughter in cold blood. Ricardo said the recent High Point University student had broken off a romantic relationship with Cadigan, but the two continued living together. Ricardo stated that this had concerned him. We talked about getting a restraining order, and my daughter didn't want to cause any type of harm because she wanted to save the world, Ricardo stated. Ricardo also told the court that Cadigan would exploit and abuse his daughter's love for her dog, Franklin, by threatening and kidnapping him. Franklin is now under Ricardo's care. A new court date is yet to be set for the killer, but police say that he will be charged in High Point with first-degree murder and felony concealment of death. Friends of Delgado remember her fondly as a fun-loving and kind-hearted, spirited young woman with an infectious smile who had so much potential. She was working towards a law degree when she was taken far too soon. James Ward contacted 911 in September 2009, confessing that he shot his wife in their Isleworth home. The millionaire developer from Florida was arrested for the second-degree murder of his wife, Diane.
Yeah, what's the emergency?
I just shot my wife.
You just what?
I just shot my wife.
Where's your wife?
She's right here on the floor. Please send somebody at 5277 Isleworth Country Club Drive.
5277 what drive?
Isleworth Country Club Drive.
Okay, the address you're not giving me is not coming up.
5277 Isleworth Country Club Drive.
Firework?
Yes, Isleworth. ISLEWRTH.
Okay, what's going on there?
I just shot my wife.
You just shot your wife?
I shot my wife, yes, please. Send somebody over.
Stay on the line with me. Let me add the fire department. Don't hang up.
I will.
Where's the weapon at, sir?
Orange County Fire Rescue. The address of your emergency?
44.
5277 Isleworth Country Club Drive. Hello?
I'm here. Hold on just a moment.
Oh, I thought I lost you. I'm sorry.
That's all right. It's 12.
No, it's 52 Yeah, 77 Iowa Country Club Drive.
On there.
I just shot my wife.
Okay, where's the weapon?
It's in the,
Yes.
I'm sorry?
Where, is she breathing?
No, she's dead.
You know that for sure.
I think so, yes.
Okay, sir, where is the weapon?
It's in the nightstand next to the bed in the master bedroom. And I'll be glad to meet the officer at the front door.
Where is your wife right now, sir?
She's in the floor in the master bedroom.
How old is she?
She is 1954, whatever that is. Born in 1954.
Okay, you're sure there's not breathing or?
She's dead. She's done. I'm sorry.
Okay. Sheriff's office, you're on the way?
Yes, we are.
Thank you.
Okay, sir.
I'll be in the front door. It's fine. There's no weapon. I'm fine.
Okay, so we're on our way.
Thank you so much.
Sir, you need to stand up for me, but my dispatch is going to hear it today, so hang up.
Office, please.
I'm sorry, say again?
Sir, did you purposely do this,
No.
or was it an accident?
It was an accident.
Stay on the phone with me. Do not hang up.
Someone. Thank you.
I'm here. And the gun is secure, sir?
I'm sorry, say again?
You do have the gun secure, correct?
Yeah, it's next to that in the nightstand. The gun is secured, yes. It's not a problem when the officer would show up. I'll be sitting on the front step.
How long ago did this happen, sir?
I'll be 5 minutes ago. I'm on the front step.
You're out on the front
There.
step?
Yeah, I'm on the front steps.
Okay.
I'm leaving the front gate from the front steps. We'll go upstairs and we'll find Diane there.
Yes. How old is your wife?
1954, so let's see, whatever that is now. She's 55. Yeah.
Is that the only weapon in the home, sir?
Yes, I'm just like, yes, I think it is. There may be one more watching at desk downstairs. I'm not certain.
Okay. What, the gun just went off, or what happened? What exactly happened?
The gun just went off.
Where was she shot at? Where's the wound?
I don't know where it is.
Okay.
This is awful. She is on the floor, and I don't know how it happened.
Where is she at in the house?
Again?
Where is she at in the house?
She's in the master bedroom upstairs.
She is in the master bedroom also?
Yes. No, I'm downstairs.
No, she's in the master bedroom.
Yeah, she is.
Okay.
She is.
Yeah, I'm here. Stay on the phone with me, okay?
No, I'm fine. It's the sirens now. I think it's first.
The what?
I think I heard a siren.
Okay.
Yeah, it's fine. They're out here trying to turn in, I think. No, they're going past me. Yeah, they're there. They're passing me. Tell me back up.
Did you see the deputy?
Yeah, I see lights, but they're somewhere back up. Ask them back up.
Okay. Can you step down and wave?
Well, I'll try to wave. Yeah, you must back up.
Yeah, I'm here.
Hey, guys, over here. Over here. Yeah, right in the street. You just try to get in here.
Are you still on the front step?
No, I'm walking toward the street.
Where are you walking towards?
Toward the street because they're...
Okay, sir?
No, I got him on the phone. We're good.
Are you with the deputy?
We can hang up. We're with him.
Okay.
Okay.
But obviously I'm in the popo and that's a problem. But let's, in the morning, please try to talk to Glenn. I just called him. He understands what's going on. And then get a hold of Liz Green as soon as you can. Thank you.
Please record your message. You have finished recording. You may hang up or press 1 for more options. Delete callback number.
Beth, hey, it's Bob. It's about 12:30 in the morning. Diane is dead. And it's a long story, but she's dead. Try to get a hold of Glenn in the morning and Liz Green. I can't get her right now, but we have to decide how to handle the kids right now. But obviously I'm in the popo and that's a problem. But let's, in the morning, please try to talk to Glenn. I just called him. He understands what's going on. And then get a hold of Liz Green as soon as you can. Thank you.
According to authorities, Diane had been shot in the face in the couple's master bedroom during an argument over financial troubles. James Ward had claimed that his wife had taken down too much wine with her antidepressant and became aggressive. She had allegedly been holding the gun, which went off when he tried to get it away from her. As investigations continued, it became possible that the argument from that night was also connected with fraud allegations at Ward's real estate business. Police arrested Ward and charged him with second-degree murder, and he was held on a $100,000 bond. In 2011, he was convicted of second-degree murder, but in 2016, a judge called for a retrial. James E. Feldman represented Ward during his retrial, arguing that the first trial had failed to gather sufficient evidence to sustain his conviction, saying that there was no proof beyond reasonable doubt that he had, in fact, killed her. He also stated that the state had failed to rebut the possibility that Diane's death was accidental. During the retrial, Sarah Ward, daughter of Diane and James, begged the judge to set her father free since he had spent 6 years in prison unfairly. His conviction was overturned and replaced with a charge of manslaughter. He was sentenced to 30 years in prison. The 6 he had already spent would be credited. Two-year-old Rain Peterson of Trumbull County went missing from her grandparents' house in October 2015. 2 days after relentless searching, she was found by volunteer Victor Sutton. Keep up to date with the latest and greatest true crime stories right here.
911, where's your emergency?
Hey, I found baby Rain and she's alive.
Where is she? Where are you at?
I'm on Peck Leach. Hang on 1 sec. Whoa! I'm on Peck Leach.
Okay, where?
Right at the, just off of Route 45. If they head on Peck Leach, head west, just west of 45, and just come on down.
Okay, hold on. Are you at the road, sir?
No, I'm off the road.
How far? Are you north or south?
I'm 1,000 feet. I'm just north of the road.
Okay, I think I have you spotted. On your phone.
Okay.
All right, hold on.
Hi, baby. Stay still.
Is she okay? Does she need an ambulance?
Can I grab her?
Okay, hold on. Hold on.
She's got flies all over.
Hold on. She's got what, sir?
Hang on a second. What? Huh? Okay. But she's got flies all over her, but she's okay. I'm coming, honey.
Okay.
I'm just to the right of the plane. Tell the plane to turn this way. Did you send somebody down Peck?
Okay, I'm coming. They're coming. They will see you. Okay. Is she in what? Describe to me what she's wearing, sir.
She's a purple shirt and gray pants.
Okay. Does she have her shoes on?
I don't know. She's got her feet in the weeds.
Is she trapped in anything?
No, she's just sitting here. She was laying down sleeping.
Okay. Child was found laying down sleeping.
Yep, there's phone poles running north and south. I'm right by him.
Hold on, he's right there, and that's exactly where he told me he was. Okay. And that's where he is.
He's off of Peck Leach Road.
Sir, you cannot hang up with me, okay?
I won't hang up.
What is your name, sir?
My name is Victor Sutton.
North of, just like a straight line from Howard.
No, I know. That's where it did.
What's that?
That's exactly where he told me. All right, and she is wearing...
She's on foot in the woods.
Yep, this is her, guaranteed, 100%.
Is she by herself, sir?
Yes.
Hold on. Yeah.
Okay, is there anybody else with you, sir?
No, there's cars starting to line up. There's 2 white vans on Peck Leach.
Okay, he says he can see 2 white vans on Peck Leach. What are you wearing, sir?
I'm wearing brown bib overalls, and I'm on a red 4-wheeler.
Submit it.
I'm going.
What? Yeah.
West of 45.
Sheriff's Route.
Is it okay to come to the squad before we can't make that decision? I'm sure they're going to say yes, but
you have a 4-wheeler, sir?
Yes, it's a red 4-wheeler.
Yes.
yes, everyone.
Okay, and you can see 2 white vans.
I see 2 white vans, and there's a guy in a red shirt walking through the field towards me.
And there's a gentleman in a red shirt walking towards him. Okay, we're sending the ambulance too, sir. Please stay on the line with me.
Okay. You're okay, sweetheart. I swear you're going to be okay.
Is she? Can I hear? Is that her I hear?
She's just crying, yes?
Okay, I hear her.
God.
Oh, I just got goosebumps.
Oh, my God, me too. I couldn't give up on this kid. Thank God.
Are you able to access her, sir?
Yes. You okay, baby? Can I grab her? I don't think
he allowed to pick her up?
going on.
Is he allowed to pick her up?
She's crying.
She's crying. Yes. Yeah.
Okay, sir. Yes, you may pick her up. Yes, you may pick her up.
Baby.
If you were the kid,
He's on his own.
he's on his own.
Hang on to me. Hi, baby. Hi, baby. Sit there.
Don't give him.
Sit there.
You want him to start heading towards the road?
Or do you want him to keep the spot?
Hi, baby. I know. I know, honey.
The voice off my fence.
I know, baby.
Yeah, go north.
You're so pretty. You're so pretty. You're so pretty.
Can you put your jacket or something around her, sir, to keep her warm?
Yeah, she's fine. Okay. You're okay. I see the sheriff right now.
Okay, sir, stay on the line with me.
I'm with you. You're okay. You're all right. It's okay. You're all right. You're okay. Oh, my God. Talk about luck. You're okay, darling. Honey, you're doing so good. Doing good, good girl. My baby. Yeah, they're all here now. They're heading my way. My baby. My neck. Oh, she's really good. Look at that. Her name's Roxanne. Say hi, Roxanne. Hey, do you have a puppy?
Are you with?
Do you have a puppy?
Is that Deputy Sheriff with you now, sir?
He's coming. They're about 12 of them running through the field.
They're running through the field. The sheriff.
She is. I can't believe it. She's tough, huh?
Aww.
You're doing good, darling. She's tough. I bet you're in the rain, huh?
Okay.
We know rain. We can look for rain. Looking for it. Yeah, we can look. Is she here to help you? All right. Come on. Look at all these people. You're famous. You're famous, huh? I'm going to turn her over to you.
Okay, sir, can you tell me if the sheriff is there now?
Yes, everybody's here.
All right, sir, I'm going to disconnect with you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, officers there.
The little girl was playing with her brothers at their North Bloomfield, Ohio home, where they live with their grandparents. It was nearing 6 p.m. on Friday, and Dora Mae Peterson, the children's great-grandmother, was making dinner while their great-grandfather Richard was on the computer. Dora Mae and Richard had custody of the three, but their mother, Brandy Peterson, still had visitation rights. Brandy had been moving into a new apartment with her boyfriend on the day Rain went missing. Brandy had reportedly been out with her boyfriend when she received a harrowing call from Dora Mae, telling her that Rain had gone upstairs and vanished. As Dora realized the little girl was missing, she hastily contacted the police and searched for her granddaughter. According to Dora Mae, the only door that was unlocked at the time was the garage door. Dora Mae and Richard had lost their 3 sons at a young age and were utterly heartbroken at the thought of losing another loved one. A tireless search began, and volunteers, authorities, and relatives searched high and low for baby Rain. Officials used search dogs, foot patrols, vehicles, helicopters, and even infrared heat equipment to find the girl, but to no avail. That Sunday afternoon, the FBI had called a meeting to say that the search would soon evolve from a rescue mission to the recovery of a body. It was nearing Sunday evening when a volunteer searcher, Victor Sutton, reportedly spotted a solid bit of purple in a field only a few miles away from the home that baby Rain was last seen. According to Sutton, he saw blonde hair as he drew closer, and then he yelled her name. At first, he thought that the pale child covered in flies had already passed on, but then she opened her eyes as he made his way towards her. He immediately called it in and raced to pick her up, trying to keep her warm while they waited for first responders. The little girl was immediately taken to hospital where she was found to be in a stable condition. She had arrived cold and wet, but sustained no serious injuries or long-term effects. To this day, there is still mystery surrounding how the little girl managed to leave the home, whether someone took her or how she managed to stay outside for so long. Rain has no memory of the events that led to her being found in a field, while images of her face swarm the newspapers and televisions. Her great-grandparents still panic if she is out of sight for even a moment. Upon witnessing a 6-year-old girl being placed into a man's vehicle in July 2021, a witness contacted 911. Louisville man, 40-year-old Robbie Wilt, was arrested moments later, allegedly with the girl in his car.
911 operator in Maggio, what is the location of your emergency?
Valley Station. Yeah. Yeah. Somebody just grabbed a little girl. In Valley Station, right off of it's Haney Lane.
What's your address, sir?
I don't know. I just happened to look out. She was out there playing drawing on the sidewalk with chalk.
What kind of vehicle?
A red Challenger. 2 guys just come by. They must have seen it. They said they'd stop after them. I don't know.
How old is she?
6.
What kind of vehicle?
They were in a different car. They said it was a red Challenger. I seen it was red when I could see him grab her and just take off. They went down Haney towards Grafton Hall Road. It's got black trim on it. It's a red Challenger.
She ain't part of the license plate number?
No. I was looking. He was a white guy, dark hair, fairly young. I just look out and see him jumping in the car.
What does she look like? Black, white, Hispanic?
She's white. She's got kind of red hair, blue eyes.
What was she seen wearing?
She must be wearing, it's just shorts and a little top, light colored. I don't know.
You don't know what
kind of shoes on? No, they were real light. I don't know.
Okay. Does she have any physical, mental, psychological disabilities?
No, she's fine.
Okay. And you have no idea who these people were?
No, I just called
a red Challenger?
Yes.
And they were laughing on Haney toward Grafton Hall?
Yes.
Okay. What's your name, sir?
Here.
We'll get police on the way, sir.
All right. What kind of car was it? Red Challenger.
According to witnesses, the girl was riding her bicycle near her Valley Station home when Wilt reportedly stopped her on Haney Road. He allegedly then took the girl and her bike in his Dodge Challenger and was reportedly followed by a witness who managed to give the number plate of the vehicle to 911. Authorities stated that the ordeal lasted between 8 to 9 minutes and ended with police arresting Wilt. Body cam footage shows Officer Jason Burba picking up the little girl and consoling her as she cries for her daddy. Wilt informed police that he had no relationship with her before the event, admitting that he knew what he was doing was wrong as the girl cried in his car. He claimed that he was driving back to the street where he took her when police arrived and ordered him to pull over. Robbie Wilt had no previous criminal history before the attempted kidnapping, aside from minor fines and a short 10-day prison sentence for marijuana possession in 2006. He was held on a $1 million bond nonetheless. Wilt entered a preliminary not guilty plea to 1 count of kidnapping a minor, a Class B felony in Kentucky that is punishable by 10 to 20 years in prison. A criminal's plans to rob a bank in Mount Vernon were foiled when a woman who was once a felon helped police track down and apprehend an alleged bank robber in March 2021.
911, what is the address of the emergency? The CES bank just got robbed. I am following the guy right now. I'm following the guy. He's in a, hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
He's in a yellow shirt. He's walking right down Chestnut Street.
Okay, which CES bank?
The CES, he just took off his yellow shirt. He is now in a blue shirt. He just went left. He's right here by the moose. He's right here by the moose. He's taking off his shirt. He's right here behind Little Caesars, in between the moose and Little Caesars. Hurry. He's got a gun, sir.
I hear you.
He's right here. I got my eyes on him right now. Where's the police at?
The CES.
Where's the police? He's right here. He's at Little Caesars. He's trying to go into Little Caesars. Sir.
I hear you.
Okay, now he's walking over to KFC.
Okay, he's trying to go over to KFC. And you did say he does have a gun?
Yes, I see the police pulling the gun on. He's right here in this front parking lot. He's trying to throw his stuff over into the, he tried to throw his stuff right. I'm trying to keep an eye on him. If the police would come on. Right here, come this way.
Jane Doe had once been a bit of a criminal herself, being incarcerated a total of 7 times before moving back to her hometown and turning her life around, getting married and having 5 children. But being on the flip side of this equation before, not as a bank robber, but a criminal mind, she knew something was wrong as soon as the man later identified as Jared L. Shaw walked into the CES credit union where he had gone to make a withdrawal. She noted that he was wearing a hat, something that is not allowed at the bank. Doe reportedly saw the man showing the bank teller his gun, telling her to give him everything. She hastily grabbed her money that she had withdrawn and ran to her car. According to Doe, she had tried to dial 911 when Shaw followed her, carrying his bag of stolen money, and attempted to smash her windscreen with his gun. But the window did not break. He made a break for it, but Doe was hot on his trail, following him as he tried to run away. She got a hold of 911 and told him what was happening as she tailed the thief. Shaw had fled to an alley behind Colonial City Moose Lodge. He reportedly began removing his distinctive yellow shirt as well as his hat and mask. She followed him onto High Street, where he cut through the KFC parking lot, where he withdrew his gun. Doe had gotten out of her car and was following from a distance when police approached the suspect with their weapons drawn, and he was apprehended without struggle. Jared L. Shaw, age 39, was booked into Knox County Jail on 1 count of aggravated robbery. There is no information available to what verdict was reached, but his charge was a first-degree felony, and when booked into jail, Shaw faced up to 16 and a half years behind bars. "22-year-old Florida student Timothy Englehart died on September 13, 2014. The victim's friend contacted 911 and told them that he shot himself, but the truth of that fateful night is still unknown. For more unbelievable true 911 calls and cases, make sure to hit the subscribe button. Some of these real stories, including the first one, remain unsolved years later.
Oh my God.
911, where's your emergency?
Okay, we need an ambulance. My friend shot himself. We think he's dead. He shot himself.
Try to stay calm, okay? You said
Holly Hill, Florida.
Okay. He shot himself?
Yes.
Where's the gun?
It's in the room where he killed himself, in our front room. Oh my God. Relax, Jake. I'm calling 911. Relax. Sit down.
Okay.
Sit down.
Ma'am, calm down, okay? How many people are there?
There are 4 of us, and then our friend who shot himself.
Okay, try to calm down. What's your name?
My name is...
Your
phone number in case I lose you?
My phone is in the front room, and I kind of want to go to this phone. The number is area code. Area code.
Okay, we've got help on the way. I need you guys to just
Okay. Jake, sit down.
I don't want you to touch the weapon, okay?
Okay, we're not. Jake, relax.
Stand still?
Yes, it is. It is. He's on the front porch. Ambulance is coming. Relax.
Okay. The last time you looked at him, ma'am, do you think that he had passed away?
I think he did. It was so sudden. He fell over.
It didn't look like he was moving at all, or breathing, or his chest wasn't moving.
No. Relax. Jake, sit down. The friend belongs to my boyfriend here, and he's very upset because he feels responsible for it. Relax, calm down, relax. Relax. I'm sorry.
Keep everybody as calm as you can, okay? Can you guys go outside for me?
We are outside. We're in the backyard. Jake, sit down, relax, sit down, relax. Relax, sit down. Relax, Jake, sit down. Jake, sit down. Relax, sit down, relax, sit down. You need to sit now, please, relax. Okay. Jake, relax. I want you to sit here with me, please, relax, please. Yeah.
Is there a gate they can come through to get to you guys in the backyard?
Yes, we have our neighbor here who's helping us stay calm. We hear the sirens are coming. Jake, please calm down. Please sit. Jake, sit.
Oh my God.
Jake, sit down, relax.
Take a deep breath, okay?
Oh, I'm on the phone still, but Jake, relax. I need you to relax, please. Please relax. Please relax. Please calm down.
Does Jake own the gun, ma'am?
Yes, it is his gun.
They're pulling up now. They're pulling up now, okay? So nobody, you know.
No, you didn't. Relax. You didn't kill him. Relax. Oh, my God. I can't believe he did that.
Okay. They can't rule it a suicide until they check out the scene.
Oh, my God. Okay, I understand.
They come in there with a gun drawn, okay?
Okay. Jake, relax. She said they're going to come with their guns drawn. Okay, relax.
They may, so don't freak out, okay?
So don't freak out. Just relax. Lay down and relax. I'm here with you. We're all here. I was there with you, and it stayed with him. You tried to take it away from him. Oh, my God. I can't believe that just happened. It's surreal. I'm not sure that just happened. Jake, relax. Relax.
What was he doing before he pulled the gun on himself?
He was stressed. We tried to tell him that, talk him through the stresses that he had. He was very stressed about everything. We didn't think the gun was loaded. We didn't think he was serious. He wanted to hold the gun.
Uh-huh.
We didn't think he was going to do that.
Do you think it was an accident, or do you think it was on purpose?
I very much think it was an accident. I think that he was just not thinking that none of us realized there was a gun in the chamber. There's a round in the chamber. And, okay, yes, sir.
I'll let you go, okay?
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Goodbye.
The aspiring meteorologist was having a BBQ with friends at a rented house in Daytona Beach. On the eve of his death, he allegedly made suicidal remarks after making a phone call and later went to a friend's home in Holly Hills to feed their dogs. This is when he reportedly put the gun to his head and tried to pull the trigger. The gun's magazine had been removed, but there was still a bullet in the chamber. 4 others had purportedly been at the home when the incident occurred, including Jacob Eldred, Charles Eichler, and Rachel Schlossberg, who reportedly tried to stop his friend from killing himself, but in his attempts to take the gun from Engelhardt when he accidentally pulled the trigger. Engelhardt, who was due to graduate the following year, suffered a single gunshot wound to the head. Police reports made by witnesses of Engelhardt's death contradict one another, where one states clearly that the victim had grabbed the gun and pointed it towards his head. Eldred attempted to stop him, his finger accidentally pulling the trigger. At the same time, another account by witness Stephanie Lauber, who was also there, says that the victim had seen the magazine being removed from the gun. She witnessed him place the gun to his head and pull the trigger, collapsing to the floor. Lauber continued her account by telling police that she believed it was an accident and that the victim did not think there was actually a bullet in the chamber. In contrast, Bill Engelhardt, the victim's father, has disputed the accounts by Eldred and his friends. He claims that his son had not been suicidal. He said that the police report compiled was full of lies, making exceptional reference to the fact that the victim had called home shortly before his death. Phone records proved that there had been no call made to either parent. Police investigations revealed that the gun was found in another room away from the body. According to Eldred, who admitted to holding the gun when it went off, claimed that he had placed it on the coffee table in the other room after the incident occurred. The 26-year-old was charged with a misdemeanor 3 months later, and all additional charges were dropped. The victim's parents were outraged by this, stating that they believed the truth of what happened that night was covered up by the 4 people who had been in the home. Bill noted in an interview that they had been waited 3 months for this report, and it's a whitewash. His grandmother had just told Tim that she would pay for his flight ticket home. He was happy. Why would he take his own life? We want answers. Almost 10 years later, in 2021, Bill and Therese Engelhardt are still demanding answers, wanting justice and the real truth about their son's death. On September 27, 2014, 30-year-old social worker Kaylin Lauder made 3 strange phone calls to 911 shortly before she vanished. She was last seen on surveillance footage leaving her condominium in Murray, walking barefoot in the middle of a rainstorm.
I did hear the fact that it seemed very brutal.
Were weapons involved or mentioned?
Yes.
Yes? What kind of weapons?
When I was in the intruder of the house,
Repeat the address for verification.
they're stealing from my house.
Okay, say your address one more time. I'm having a hard time hearing you.
Get the out of my house.
Okay, do you know who this person is?
No, I don't. I just know that there's an intruder in my house.
You don't know who they are?
No, I don't. I'm going to look from where I'm at 'cause I'm worried about my safety. Please hurry.
Are you at the location now?
Yes, I am.
Were weapons involved or mentioned?
They're not talking or responding. I'm just telling them to leave so I can hear them taking things.
So you haven't seen them, you can just hear them?
Yes, correct.
Are you or anyone else in immediate danger?
I believe so.
Okay, are you able to get yourself to safety?
I just want to answer that while he's here.
I'm sorry, what?
No.
Can you talk freely with me?
Yeah.
Okay, where exactly are you?
I'm in the back bedroom. Karen,
Where did
lock
the
your
suspect
door.
enter the building?
There's only one door. Get out of my house.
Is there anyone else in the building who belongs there?
Yes, there's 6 apartments.
Okay, is there anybody else in your apartment that should be there?
I believe she's here. I have a roommate.
Where is she at?
Next door to me.
Can you still hear them?
Yes.
Where does it sound like they're at?
The front room, near the entrance. It's a small place. Shut up.
Are they saying anything?
Yeah, I heard someone say, hey, go in there, so there's obviously 2 of them. Hey, Karen, lock the door. There's something going on there. Come here. Yeah. They might have left.
Okay, what's going on now? They've left now?
Yeah, so I'm just going to look and see if anything's been taken. Someone opened the door, and I heard them come in. Don't do that, Carol. The door's still locked. It's impossible. They must have a key or something.
because when I took the dog out, I heard people talking. And there was people last night, like, sitting outside the window. And so they, like, were scoping us out or something. Why is the door still locked? Well, I can't explain that, but I heard, like, two people talking.
Chilling and bizarre 911 calls were made by Kaylin Louder, known as Kiki, to loved ones shortly before she disappeared. The first call was made on September 26th at around 9 p.m., where Kaylin contacted the police to report a violent fight at the clubhouse in the complex in which she lived. She said weapons such as guns were at the party where the alleged altercation was taking place. Still, upon arrival, authorities found the party, a wedding, taking place, but there was no sign of any violence or weapons that had been mentioned in Kaylin's call. An hour later, a second call from Kaylin was made to 911, but she hung up. When dispatchers tried to call Kaylin back, she purportedly seemed confused, had trouble remembering her address, and mumbled into the phone. Her third and last call before disappearing was made the following morning. A distressed Kaylin frantically reported to dispatchers that there were intruders in her home, but her roommate can be heard in the call stating that the door was still locked and that nobody was inside. When police responded to the call, they saw no signs of an attempted break-in and found no intruders in the residence. Kaylin, who had no previous history of abusing 911 and had no criminal record, was born and raised in Utah. She was surrounded by loving family and friends growing up, and after graduating, she attended Utah State University and went on to become a social worker. Kaylin was known as someone who showed kindness to anyone who needed it, and friends described her as an animal-loving, deeply loyal companion. She had recently lost her job and was struggling to find employment. Shortly before her appearance, she had begun writing and sending out new resumes to try and find work. In the footage just outside her condominium, Kaylin takes her dog out for a walk. She was barefoot even though it was raining. Police speculated that she seems to be having a conversation with herself, but friends and family later contested this theory, explaining that Kaylin often spoke to her dog. About 15 minutes later, Kaylin ran off, leaving behind her beloved pet, belongings, keys, and phone. Residents of the complex disclosed seeing her crying in the parking lot and trying to open the apartment gates before running away and out of frame. Her family reported her missing that night. Through social media, her family and friends organized a massive search party for Kaylin and hired private investigators. They also offered a $5,000 reward for information leading to her safe return. Kaylin's parents reviewed both the 911 calls and surveillance footage. They determined that while she came across as her usual self in the calls despite sounding afraid, her mother admitted that she had acted strange in the videos. They contested speculation of her being mentally unstable and simply running away, stating that she had been a little bit depressed due to her recent unemployment, but that she was remaining positive and hopeful and would never leave home or leave her pet alone. After 9 weeks of thinking the worst but hoping for the best, Kaylin's loved ones finally received news on her whereabouts. On December 1st, 2014, city workers had been inspecting the drainage pipes along the Jordan River nearby when they came across a body hidden behind plant debris. The family's worst fears came true when the body was identified as Kaylin Louder. Still unknown is what occurred between her last seen on camera and her death, how Kaylin's body got to the river that was just 5 miles away from her home. Her autopsy results were inconclusive, only stating that she was likely in the water for the duration of her disappearance and that there was no evidence of foul play, trauma, or substances taken to her body. Kaylin is remembered by her loving parents, Suzanne Ackerman Louder, Jesse Leland, and siblings Parley Louder, Colton Louder, Maddie Rodriguez. In April 2018, 16-year-old Kyle Plush was trapped in his minivan and, hours after contacting 911 for help twice, was crushed to death. His parents have filed a lawsuit against the state for their indifference and unhelpfulness during his time of need.
Cincinnati 911 is the address of your emergency. Cincinnati 911. The Seven Hills what parking lot? What?
I need help.
Where are you? Hello?
I'm gonna die here.
Where are you?
I probably don't have much time left to tell my mom that I love her if I die. This is not a joke. This is not a joke. I'm trapped inside my gold Honda Odyssey van in the Southwood parking lot of 7 Hills Back. Send officers immediately. I'm almost dead.
The teenager that Cincinnati police, as well as 2 dispatchers, failed to rescue had been reaching for his tennis gear when he became pinned by the third-row seat of his 2004 minivan. He reportedly could not reach his phone but managed to use his Siri virtual assistant to dial 911. Despite making 2 calls to 911 for help, it never came. The boy died of asphyxia due to chest compression, meaning that he was crushed to death. His parents filed a lawsuit against the state, police, and 911 dispatchers for failing to save him from his doom. In the first 2 attempts to call for rescue, Stephanie McGee's dispatcher did not categorize his situation as urgent but rather as unknown trouble. Subsequently, the 2 officers who were sent to investigate the call, Brian Brazil and Edel Osborne, allegedly did not even get out of their vehicles when patrolling and did not thoroughly search the parking lot near 7 Hills School. In the second call answered by dispatcher Amber Smith, a teletypewriter connection had been activated by Smith, which made it more difficult for her to understand Plush's cries for help. While the officers were still near the school at the time of the second call, Plush was not helped and consequently died. Plush was found by his father, Ronald Plush, about 6 hours after the initial call had been made. In 2019, Plush's parents filed a wrongful death lawsuit at Hamilton County Commons Police Court. 3 years after his death, his family received a $6 million settlement. As part of the settlement, the city also pledged to make improvements in training and staff at the Cincinnati Emergency Communications Center, which had been allegedly understaffed and undertrained. Kyle was a person of action and a problem solver, his mother, Jill Plush, said in an interview. We did this because he would have wanted some type of change so this didn't happen ever again. Something to ensure all the problems that happened were uncovered. And some type of plan would be put in place to remedy those problems. For more true 911 calls and their aftermath, click the subscribe button. Wendy Lavarnia contacted 911 in March 2017 and reported that her 2-year-old son had gotten hold of her loaded gun and had shot her 9-year-old son, Landon. After investigation, Wendy and her husband, Kansas, were charged with murder.
Tell me what the emergency is. Slowly.
My son, he is 9 years old. He was shot in the head.
Okay. How did that?
He is 9 years old. My day brother. I got my gun down. I was on the bed like an idiot. And 9 years old, I didn't think he could fire it, and he shot it. And then I saw him standing up and playing a video game, and it shot him in the back of his head.
Okay. Listen.
We're on the way as well.
Thank you, Petey. Is he breathing? What I want you to do is get a dry, clean cloth, put direct pressure to the wound, okay? Okay, what caliber weapon was it?
A 9mm.
A 9mm handgun? All right, ma'am. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Okay, put direct pressure to the wound. Try to control the bleeding. Is he still awake? Ma'am, I can't hear you. I don't know if you're away from the phone or if you put it...
No, I'm putting it to my... I'm putting it in my ear, my head in my ear. Okay, his own lips are turning a little blue, but his eyes are a little open. He's not responding, though.
Okay, what I want you to do is just get a dry, clean cloth, put direct pressure on the wound. We need to control the bleeding. Now, put your ear to his mouth. Is he breathing?
I think so.
Okay, and he wasn't holding the gun when it happened, correct?
No, he wasn't holding the gun. My 2-year-old did.
Okay. And it's the 2-year-old boy that picked it up?
Yes.
Okay. All right, we'll be there shortly.
The Phoenix mother had placed her loaded 9mm handgun on her bed next to the toddler and a 4-year-old boy when Landon was a few feet away playing video games. The 2-year-old had allegedly been allowed to practice shooting with the unloaded gun and had picked it up and pulled the trigger, shooting Landon once in the head. When officials arrived at the home on 35th and Rosewood Avenues, they noticed a lack of blood at the scene of the shooting. After investigating the house, they discovered wipes, towels, and clean blood residue in multiple rooms of the home and 2 empty cans of stain remover and traces of blood in the family vehicle. It became obvious that a huge amount of effort had gone into cleaning up the scene before police arrived. Wendy had also told police that her 31-year-old husband had not been home at the time of the shooting, and when he arrived almost 3 hours after police had gotten to the scene, he had a wound that had been taped over with tissues and packing tape. Authorities believed that he had taken what looked like a screwdriver to his arm to try to cover up a through-and-through gunshot wound. When emergency services arrived at the home, the boy was taken to hospital in critical condition and died the following day. Phoenix Police Chief Jerry Williams stated that significant efforts were made to scrub the house clean and remove evidence while this young boy lay shot and dying. Both were arrested and booked into Maricopa County Jail. Wendy had initially been suspected of 4 counts of child abuse in connection with endangering children. Her husband had been arrested on the charge of illegal firearm possession, a firearm that he had been prohibited from carrying due to a previous felony conviction. As the investigation continued, both parents were charged with first-degree murder in the death of their eldest son, where they pleaded not guilty. On Father's Day 2018, 14 months after Landon's passing, Kansas killed himself. Shortly before his suicide, Wendy confessed to Kansas being at the home during the incident, stating that he had fled the scene due to his prior criminal convictions prohibiting him from having a gun. She also confessed that the bullet that had killed her son had initially hit her husband in the arm, where the bullet fragmented, leading police to believe that he had meddled with the wound with a screwdriver. The bullet went through his arm and hit Landon in the head, causing his death. A plea deal was reached and Wendy's conviction was reduced to manslaughter. She was sentenced to 10.5 years in prison in 2019. Landon was remembered fondly by those who knew him, including his best friend Mason, who left a sad and loving note on the door of the empty home. Their 3 other children, boys ages 2 and 4, and a baby girl, were placed under the custody of the Arizona Department of Child Safety. It was just before 6 in the evening on May 6, 2013, when Charles Ramsey heard a woman's screams for help. He heeded the call, helping Amanda Berry, who had been missing for over 10 years, escape her captor's lair.
Cleveland 911 police, ambulance to fire. Yeah, hey, bro, I'm at 2207 Seymour, West 25th. Hey, check this out. I just came from McDonald's, right? So I'm on my porch eating my little food, right? This broad is trying to break out the house next door to me. So there's a bunch of people on the street right now. So we like, well, what's wrong with you? What's the problem? She like, this been kidnapped me and my daughter, and we've been in this bitch. She say her name is Linda Berry. I don't know who the that is. I just moved over here, bro.
Sir,
you know what I mean?
Sir, you have to calm down and slow down. Is she still in the street?
Seymour Avenue.
Is she still in the street, or where did she go?
Yeah, I'm looking at her. She right now. She calling y'all. She on another phone.
Is she black, white, or Hispanic?
She white, but the baby look Hispanic.
Okay, what is she wearing?
White tank top, light blue sweatpants. Like a white beater.
Do you know the address next door that she said she was in?
Yeah, 2207. I'm looking at it.
Okay, I thought that was your address. So that house.
No, I'm smarter than that, bro. I'm telling you where the crime was.
Okay, look, sir, we can't talk at the same time. Do you want to leave your name and number? Or your name and number?
Charles Ramsey, R-A-M-S-E-Y.
What's the phone number? Are the people she said that did this, do you know if they're still in the house?
I don't have a clue, bro. I just said I came from McDonald's.
Can you ask her if she needs an ambulance?
You need an ambulance? Or what? She needs everything. She's in a panic, bro. I guess she's been kidnapped, so, put yourself in her shoes.
We'll send the police out. Thank you.
There you go.
Amanda Berry, Gina DeJesus, Michelle Knight had all been kidnapped as young girls and held captive. According to police reports, the 3 girls had all been tied up, and Berry had managed to escape, finding her way to the front door and screaming for help. That was when Ramsey heard her screams and managed to help her to escape. When police arrived at Ramsey's house, Barry told them about the other 2 girls, and detectives were quick to break into the home and rescue them, rushing all 3 to the hospital for their medical needs to be evaluated. Neighbors cheered and celebrated the return of the 3 women who disappeared as girls. There was sadly one person missing from the celebrations, Barry's mother, who, many believe, died of a broken heart after her daughter had disappeared. 52-year-old Ariel Castro, along with his 50-year-old and 54-year-old brothers, were arrested in connection with the kidnappings after Amanda Berry had identified them as her kidnapper. It was confirmed that he did indeed live in the home. Amanda, who had been kidnapped at the age of 16 in 2003 on her way home from working at Burger King, kept a journal of her horrific decade in hell. In it, she accounts how all 3 girls had been victims of rape, sometimes up to 5 times a day. They also often suffered from starvation and were deprived of fresh air and sunshine for over a decade. The girls were kept in chains all the time, and Castro cruelly told the girls about their families looking for them in the outside world, a world they were kept from. Castro, who had been held on a $2 million bond, pled guilty to over 900 counts of rape, kidnapping, and aggravated murder as part of the plea bargain. He was sentenced to life plus 1,000 years without the possibility of parole. It was just after 10 p.m. when Alex Murdaugh, of the powerhouse legal family of Murdaughs, found his wife and son shot dead in their Colleton County hunting estate and hastily contacted 911 to report their deaths.
Hampton County 911, where's your emergency?
This is Alex Murdaugh at 4147 Moselle Road. I need the police to ambulance immediately. My wife and child have been shot badly.
Okay, you said 4147 Moselle Road in Allison?
Sir?
You said 4147 Moselle Road in Allison?
Yes, sir. 4147 Moselle Road.
Stay on the line with me, okay? Yes, sir. Stay on the line with me, okay?
Hello?
I'm still here. Stay on the line. I'm still here, okay?
Colleton County Communications.
Colleton, I have an Alex Murdaugh on the line, caller from 4147 Moselle Road. He's advising that his wife and child was shot.
Okay, and sir, give me the address again.
It's 4147 Moselle Road. I've been up to it now. It's bad.
Okay.
Oh.
Okay, and are they breathing?
No, ma'am.
Okay, you said it's your wife and your son?
My wife and my son.
Are they in a vehicle?
No, ma'am. They're on the ground out at my kennels. I talked to you last week.
Okay. Did you see anyone? Okay. Is he breathing at all?
No. Nobody.
Is she? Okay. Do you see anything? Do you see anyone in the area?
No, ma'am. No, ma'am.
What color is your house on the outside? What color is your house on the outside?
It's white. You can't see it from the road.
Okay. Is it a house or a mobile home?
It's a house.
Okay. And what is your name?
My name is Alex Murdaugh.
Okay. Did you hear anything, or did you come home and find them?
No, man. I've been gone. I just came back.
Okay. Was anyone else supposed to be at your house?
No, ma'am. Please hurry.
We're getting somebody out there to you.
Oh, man. Oh.
Okay, what is her name?
Maggie and Paul.
Maggie is her name?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
And please hurry.
We're getting somebody out there too. Me asking you these questions don't slow them down, okay? And you sure they're not breathing? Is he moving at all, your son? I know you said that she was shot, but what about your son?
Nobody's. They're not. Neither one of them's moving.
What is your telephone number? And does anything look out of place?
Ma'am, not particularly, really. No, ma'am.
Okay. Okay.
All right, I'm going back down there. Are they close, ma'am?
They've been around with you ever since you've got on the phone with me. I have multiple people coming out there to you. Okay, can you do me a favor, Mr. Murdoch, and turn on the flashers on your car so that way they can see where the kennels are?
21. Central Zone now, station 1A. You will need station 15.
Do you have your flashers on for me, Mr. Murdoch?
Yes.
Okay. I don't want you to touch them at all, okay? I don't know if you've already touched them, but I don't want you to touch them just in case they can get any kind of evidence, okay?
I'd already touched them trying to get to see if they were breathing.
Okay. Well, I just don't want you to move anything just in case they can get any kind of evidence, okay?
Ma'am, I'm going to call. I need to call some of my family.
Okay.
On this.
Well, do me a favor for me. Whenever you see the officer or the medics, because they're all coming to you.
Absolutely.
Okay. But we have them come and turn on the flashers on your vehicle so they can see you, okay? You got the flashers on for me?
I do.
Okay. All right. Just whenever you see them.
Okay.
How old is your son?
22.
Okay. All right. We're getting them out there to you, okay?
And I will answer if you call.
All right.
Alex Murdaugh had reportedly returned home to the 1,700-acre estate situated in both Hampton and Colleton counties. He found the body of his wife, Maggie Murdaugh, and his son Paul in the garden outside one of the two homes on the estate. The two were reportedly shot execution style. Maggie had suffered multiple wounds from what authorities determined was an assault rifle, and Paul the same, but a shotgun had caused his wounds. The double homicide became an item of national interest due to the family's name and mysterious circumstances surrounding the mother and son's deaths, and the family's ties with two previous killings. In 2015, 19-year-old Stephen Smith's body was found on Sandy Run Road in the early hours of July 8th. His autopsy revealed that the cause of death was a hit and run and that he had suffered trauma to the head that the side mirror of a vehicle may have caused. Even though the Murdaughs were never officially linked to his death or questioned directly by police, the name came up multiple times during Smith's family interviews. According to files on the case, a member of the Murdaugh family and personal injury lawyer had contacted the Smith family and had offered to represent them at no charge. The family allegedly reported this offer to detectives as weird. The case had gone cold until Paul and Maggie's deaths. Then, in 2019, a 19-year-old woman, Mallory Beach, was killed in a boat crash. The driver of the boat was none other than Paul Murdaugh, who had reportedly been intoxicated when he was driving the boat. This was according to surveillance footage taken at the bar he had been at shortly before the crash, as well as footage of him walking to his boat. Officers who arrived on the scene that fateful night failed to administer Paul with a sobriety test, something that was widely criticized by the media. Since Paul and Maggie's death, it was cited as a failure to conduct an appropriate investigation. According to toxicology reports at the hospital showed that Paul had a blood alcohol concentration more than 3 times the legal limit. However, in court, Paul was not restricted from drinking alcohol or driving a boat even though he faced felony BUI charges. The entire investigation was widely criticized, and even more so in the weeks after Paul and Maggie's deaths. The Beach family is suing Alex Murdaugh. Alex Murdaugh and his son Richard Alexander Murdaugh Jr., also known as Buster, released an official statement promising a $100,000 reward for information leading to the arrest and conviction of the person or persons responsible for the murder of his wife and son. There is much speculation around Alex's involvement in the killings, and some have dubbed him as a person of interest in the case. However, despite any suspicion detectives may have towards the lawyer, no suspect has been arrested, and investigations surrounding the double homicide and 2 killings before the homicide are still ongoing. That's it for today. Don't forget to like this video if you found it interesting, and subscribe to join us in the next episode of True 911.